pretty girl. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kenna and I am a Cameroonian YouTuber based in Douala, Cameroon. Thank you very much for clicking on this link. If this is your first time seeing my face, welcome, special welcome to you. Take a seat, sit down. You're welcome to the family. Okay, if you're still looking at my face and you're like, should I click on this video? Should I click on subscribe? Should I not? Please do click on subscribe. On this channel we have a lot going on, and I promise you, you will have at least one thing on this channel that you like. If you don't see anything that you like, it's okay, be patient, wait. I'm trying new things, so what you like is definitely coming up. So please just click on that subscribe button before you continue watching. Okay, so I am all pumped. I'm excited today because I am going to be talking about men. Yes, I'm going to be talking about men, mistakes men make in marriages. So if you are interested in watching, just sit down because we're about to break this thing in little pieces. So I'm talking about, yeah, mistakes men make in marriages, but I have also discovered that a lot of people do the same mistakes in relationships, especially those relationships where they are practically married. The only difference is that they have not gone to the council to exchange rings, or they have not gone and met the families to finalize things. So yeah, this can also be applied in relationships. So without talking too much, let me bounce straight into point number one. Okay, so the very first mistake that men make in marriage is just not showing empathy for their partner. What do I mean by empathy? Just putting yourself in their position. Okay, they don't put themselves in the woman's position. A lot of men will expect you to react the way they would react. They'll expect you to take things the way they take things, and that is one big mistake that they make. Why do you think that another person is supposed to see things like you? Like, everybody is different. Everybody has their own way of looking at things. What might be just okay for you will not be okay for the woman. And the thing too is that some men fail to understand that men and women are not the same. The way a woman feels is not the same. Okay, I just got Myra back here because Myra, the nanny, has gone out and I have to sit to Myra. Okay, yeah, so like I was saying, a lot of men don't put themselves in your shoes. Like, a man will not understand if something happens. The man could be looking at you like, but it's just something little. Why is she crying? And he's not there for you. But put yourself in her position. Just try to think like, why? If it is really nothing, why is she crying? If she's crying, it means something to her. So just understand the fact that this thing means a lot to her. That is why she's crying, rather than trying to belittle it. Because the mistake a lot of men will make is when they see that you're down, you're angry, you're crying, or you're hurt about something. Yes, baby. It's okay. When they see that you're hurt about something, they will now start trying to, but this small thing, now what you hurt about, that's a mistake that a lot of men make. They refuse, they don't put themselves in their partner's position, so they don't get to understand how this person feels, how the person is feeling. Like, they don't just get it. The next thing I'm going to talk about is taking your partner for granted. See, this one, I feel like this one is a man sickness. I'll see a lot of girls in relationships complaining, he's taking me for granted. A lot of married women complaining, he's taking me for granted. Why? I wish I knew the answer. I don't know why, but guys always tend to take women for granted. I know that there's something called the honeymoon period in a relationship, where when you want to get a girl, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're caring, you're nice, and all that. I understand that there's the chase. After the chase, there's a honeymoon period where she says yes, and then you are together, you're trying to make things like that part that you're all up into each other, you're calling her 15 times a day and all that. It's true that when the relationship finally settles, things don't get to be like that. But for me, I just feel that in a relationship, there's something called basics. There are basics that every relationship has to have, and everybody has their own basics. And to me, one of my basics in a relationship is like communicating with you daily. So I'm just like, no, a lot of guys will take a girl for granted. When they have done the chase, they go through the honeymoon stage, the relationship settles. Some men, it takes longer than others, but a lot of men, usually they just get to one position. I feel like sometimes the guy will even get to a position where he's going to do something wrong to see a reaction, do another thing wrong, do another thing wrong. Then he sees like, oh, no matter what I do, this one, I don't already press the mumu button, like, she's under here, anything I do, she's going to be there. So they just start misbehaving. They take her for granted, because inside their head they feel that, oh, forever and ever and ever she's going to be there, she's not going anywhere. I've already tested her, I've already seen that this one she cannot go anywhere. And I'm always like, that is the dumbest thing. No matter how much somebody loves you, I tell you, everybody has their elastic limit. For some 1 hour, for some 5 years, 10, 11 years, but everybody has their elastic limit. You cannot take a woman for granted, and then when she snaps and she's like, oh, I'm done, you're like, oh, what happened? It's only because of those little things. Like, see, I'm one of those people that I feel like my elastic limit is really, really long. So sometimes when the elastic limit cuts, sometimes I shock even myself, because I'm like, I'm not just there anymore. Like, boy, bye, I've moved on. So yeah, but it takes a lot. So you see a lot of guys, they're just doing crazy things, talking to her anyhow, cheating, doing this one, doing that one, doing all sorts of crazy things, because some part of their brain is telling them that this one, she don't love me too much, she can never go anywhere, she's going to be there forever and ever. And that is a mistake men make, especially when it comes to marriages. A lot of men, when their women start having children, they just feel like, oh, this one, her own is over, she has my kids, she cannot go anywhere, oh, what is she, how can she leave? So they'll just be taking you for granted, like this person is always going to be there. And that is something that when it wants to backfire, it backfires really hard. I don't know what the cause really is, I don't know why guys are like that, but that's something that I think that a lot of men should take out their time to sit and look at. Like, why do you just suddenly sit and you take your partner for granted? Like, I'm not going to do any effort, I'm not going to be intentional about this relationship anymore, she can do all the work. If she doesn't want to do all the work, where can she go to? Who can see her? She's going to be here forever. So that's the next mistake. The next mistake that men make in marriage relationships is just to be sexually selfish. This is like a typical African man problem. A lot of African men are so selfish when it comes to sex. To them, it's about them. It's about them getting off. They don't care whether you enjoyed it. They don't care whether how you feel about it. A lot of men, and in our African society, sex is first of all not that topic that people can talk about it freely. People don't like, they did not bring us up to talk about sex freely. So it gets really frustrating where the girl, she's like, oh, I cannot talk about this, and then the man too, he's not even given a chance. Like, he just comes 1, 2, 3, 4, pop, he's over, he's done. He doesn't even care whether you enjoyed it or whatever. Like, a lot of African men in particular are sexually selfish. I don't know about men in other places, but what I can say is I'm sure that men from other in the abroad, they are not like that, because you notice that a lot of guys, when they are in Cameroon, they are like that, but when they travel, they get more educated about it. You see now that guys, when they travel abroad now, you see now that guys abroad, they are more open when it comes to sex. They can talk freely about it. How can I please you? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? What did I do? How can I change it? So yeah, African men, please stop being sexually selfish. Like, stop being selfish in bed. Sex is not a one-man thing. If it was a one-person thing, why don't you go and crack yourself? Why do you need a woman to get off? Like, it doesn't work like that. It's two people involved, so two people have to be satisfied at the end of the day. Don't assume that you know what she likes. Ask her what she likes, and she's going to tell you what she likes. Another mistake that African men make in their relationships is not talking about how they feel. We grew up in a society where a lot of guys, for them, you talking about your feelings, you showing your feelings, you showing that you're hurt, you showing that you're vulnerable, means that you are not a man. You are not a man. Do real men cry and this and that, as people say? Yeah, so we grew up in that society where it's strange to see a man cry. When we see men cry, it's like, this one will be man. Like, so a lot of men will not tell you how they feel. If you do something to hurt them, they'll either bottle it up and just move on from it. Like, our African men, in their marriages, you will not see them sitting to talk about their feelings. They just swallow this, swallow that, swallow that, swallow this. And that is a mistake, because if you are not explaining how you feel, if your woman disrespects you, for example, and you don't like it, and it makes you feel sad or makes you feel bad, and you cannot sit and tell her like, babe, when you did this thing, I did not like it, it hurt my feelings, I did not really enjoy when you did that, please next time don't do that. If you cannot express your feelings, if you cannot talk about your feelings with your partner, how then is your partner supposed to understand you? You're the only one who knows how you're feeling, and the only thing you can do is just to talk about it with your partner, so that your partner can understand you better, because there's no other way that your partner can understand you. She cannot read signs, so the only way that they can understand how you really feel is you opening up and saying how you actually feel. Another mistake that married men make is thinking that their only duty, thinking that their main and only duty on earth is providing. A lot of African men do not do any other thing in their houses. They feel like, oh, I've given money for food, I've given money for rent, I've given money for necessities, so I have done my own part as a man. I've done my responsibility. The woman's own responsibility is to do whatever it is. Could it be staying with the kids, taking care of the kids, doing all the chores at home, doing whatever thing. I don't have any other duty. My duty is just to provide. That is like this one. It will take, I don't know, it will take so long before African men will understand that, oh, that is not your, saying that you're the head of the house doesn't mean you just come and give money and you go. That is not it. You have a lot. You have to be a father. Being a father doesn't mean getting a woman pregnant and paying her hospital bills. You have to be there, active in your children's life. You have to be an active husband, because I know a lot of men, when they pay all the things for the house and they go, the few good ones that will even think of doing that, when they pay all that and they go, they don't care, as in they don't cater to their wives' needs, they don't cater to their kids' needs. They just feel like, as they have given money, like what matters is money. And a lot of African men feel like that. So when you're complaining, oh, you don't do this, you're not doing this, you're not there physically, you're not there emotionally for your kids, for your family, a lot of them will be like,
I give you money, but I give you money.
it's not funny. It's, this one is really annoying. A lot of them don't get it. Like I have tried to explain to so many people and they don't just get it. So I'm just like, you know what, any man for a house, not any man here. Another mistake that men make in marriage is not being intentional about their relationship. That is their relationship with their partner. When they are married and start having kids and other things start happening, a lot of men forget to be intentional about growing their relationship. I know so many men who feel that the end of the end is marrying you. They have married you, they don't have to put in any effort anymore in the relationship. They don't have to work again on the relationship, as in the main thing was that they should get married to you. They are married to you now, don't complain. They don't work towards it. They don't try to make out time to just hang out with their spouse, like sit down with your wife and talk with her. They don't make like, oh, let's go on a date, just both of us, let's have a quiet time, let's go for a weekend. Like, they don't do that. To them, the most important thing is that they got married to you, they have married you. My dear, sit down and enjoy marriage. Like, they don't think that you have to be intentional about watering your relationship for the relationship to grow. And these are the things that water the relationship. You discover that when you get married to somebody and you're not watering the relationship, you're not working on it, you're not intentional about, oh, let's spend time together, like let's sit and talk to each other. No. When you're not intentional like that, you just see the relationship is just going down like this, and before you know it, you're strangers to each other. So you have to be intentional about it. I know even men whom their wives would even make efforts, and she's like, oh, let me do this, let's do this together, let's do this, and they'll laugh and they're like, the time for that has passed. When we were dating, we already did that. Right now we're married people don't do this, married people don't do that, people that have children don't do this, people that have children don't do that. And for me, it's always, oh my god, and for me it's always like so ridiculous. Like, who gave all these rules? Married men don't do this, married men don't do that. Anyway, the next thing I'm going to talk about is listening. See, your partner, women like when their men listen to them. You get a lot of men will not listen to their wives. A lot of men, I don't know how to even explain this. Like, a lot of men don't listen to their wives. They can come and do their ranting. Oh, this happened today, that happened, that happened. But when the woman is explaining her own, a lot of men sometimes they just start thinking of, oh, this thing that happened, it was a problem. How can I fix it? They don't listen. Sometimes somebody is telling you that problem not because they want you to fix it. They're telling you just because they want to vent. So just be the ear. Just be that ear. Just be that ear, okay? Just be there. Listen to what she has to say and encourage her. Don't start trying. Don't sit there and you're like, Some men will even go as far as cutting you when you're still trying to explain. And like, no, it's okay. How do you want me to fix it? I want to fix this thing. How do I fix it? And sometimes it's frustrating to women. Yes, it's a problem which needs fixing, but sometimes you just want to vent and let it all out before you start talking about how to fix it. So it can be frustrating when you're talking and explaining everything to someone and the person is just telling you, how do I fix it? Yeah, you have a problem. Tell me. The main thing is that we should fix it. So tell me how should I fix it? Sometimes it can really be super annoying. Another mistake that a lot of African men make in their marriages, in relationships, is just being power drunk. Ugh. Oh my God. Some men feel that because they said the man is the head, or they said a woman submit to your husband, it simply means that they will just be throwing commands. Your partner doesn't have anything to say. You are the man, I am the man. So when I say jump, you jump. When I say jump, you ask me how high. When I say smile, you ask me how broad. Like, a lot of men get power drunk when it comes to their marriages. They don't want to see reason. Sometimes it is quite annoying because you see some men go as far as making major decisions for their family without even involving the woman. You see a man just telling you, oh, I bought a land in this place. I don't want us to live here. I want us to live. Something that you do not even discuss with your partner. And it's so annoying sometimes because you see a woman who has built her business in a certain place, and then a man will just, for example, move and it's like, oh, I want to live in Yaoundé, so I'm going to, I bought land there, I started building a family house. When time comes, you have to move. And I'm like, how fair is that? That is not fair. This person is also part of the family. For you to make certain decisions, you obviously have to talk with your wife. You don't just come and you just say, oh, boom, I've done this, I'm the man of the house. Like, no, you are the head of the house, yes, but you cannot be making major decisions that affect another person's life without you even thinking of talking about it with the other person. That is just crazy. A lot of men get power hungry. I'm just finding it hard to remember like good examples, but I'm sure you people understand what I'm trying to say. A lot of married men feel that the only way to show affection is to have sex. You get? They don't, a lot of African men, they don't feel like, oh, you can hold your woman's hand, or you can just hug her, or just hold her hand, massage her, or you guys could just be sitting together and she puts her leg on you and you just rub her leg. Those are still signs of affection. So you see a lot of women complaining like, oh, my husband is not affectionate, oh, he's not affectionate. And the man is like, but I'm doing you 10 times a week. How am I not affectionate? I do. The man is like,
I did you yesterday, I did you this morning, I've done you this afternoon, and I'm going to do you again this evening. How can you say I'm not affectionate?
when sometimes affection doesn't necessarily only have to be hammering. Like, no, just hug her while she's cooking. When you come back from work, just give her a peg on her cheek. When you guys are out together, hold her hand. Yeah, women love that. It's those little things sometimes that will just be blowing her mind, and you're like, hey, what did I do? What kind of pimang did I put that this woman is just all over me like that? Not knowing that it's just those little things that you do. And then we're going to go to the last thing. The last thing I have is men putting their woman second, some third, fourth even. There are certain men whom, when their wives start having kids, the kids become their priority. So, and then there are some men who are work obsessed, who they'll be like, oh, my kids are the first priority, my work, then my wife. Some are even my kids, my work, my family, then my wife. So always putting your wife second. See, this is something that a lot of people don't like hearing, but it's just the truth. When you are married, the most important person in your life is your husband, is your wife. As in, it's in the Bible. That is the most important person. That is the person that you always have to put first. You don't have to put any other person or thing before your spouse. But a lot of men forget that. Some their wives are even on the 20th on their list. You have to always remember that is your wife is a part of you. Do not forget that. But if you hurt your wife, you're hurting yourself. If you make your wife cry, you're making yourself cry. If you like anything you do to your wife, you are doing to yourself. A lot of men forget that. A lot of men forget that. If you are breaking your wife, you are in turn breaking yourself. So these are just a few mistakes I came up with. I'm sure you people have a lot. Please drop more in the comment section. Let's talk more about this. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it's okay. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want more like this, you know what to do. Just click on the subscribe button and tell me in the comment section, and I most definitely will do another one. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Love you. Bye.